In a stunning turn of events that has rocked social media and left the public in disbelief, the late Nathi Mthethwa's widow has become the center of an explosive scandal. Once viewed as a symbol of strength, grace, and quiet mourning, she's now being accused of betrayal, moral collapse, and emotional hypocrisy. What was supposed to be a private celebration has turned into a viral nightmare, exposing a side of her that no one expected to see. The controversy began when leaked videos surfaced online, showing Mthethwa's widow laughing and dancing at an extravagant party held in Johannesburg last weekend. The event, reportedly a close-knit gathering to celebrate new beginnings, looked more like a high society affair than a moment of reflection. Expensive champagne bottles popped one after another, designer outfits shimmered under flashing lights, and music filled the air as she danced freely, seemingly untouched by grief. But what truly set the internet ablaze wasn't the party itself, it was who she was celebrating with. Among the crowd were faces that many recognized, friends once estranged from Mthethwa, business associates who'd fallen out with him years before, and even a man rumored to have had a tense relationship with the late minister. The symbolism was impossible to ignore, and for many, it felt like a deep and deliberate betrayal. Within hours of the footage leaking, Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook were flooded with outrage. "This is beyond disrespectful," one user wrote. "You can mourn in peace, but celebrating like this, with those people, is just cruel." Others chimed in, accusing her of dancing on his grave and erasing his legacy for attention. Hashtags like #MthethwaWidow exposed, #Betrayal unmasked, and #No respect for the dead trended for days, as millions debated whether her actions reflected healing or heartlessness. Sources close to the family claim that the widow had been under pressure to maintain a dignified image following her husband's passing, but recently began rejecting that role. One friend told reporters, "She's been saying she's done pretending. She wants to live her life again no matter what people think." That declaration, once seen as empowering, now feels eerily like foreshadowing for the storm that followed. As the backlash intensified, screenshots emerged of messages allegedly sent by her to a small circle of friends boasting about finally being free and no longer living in anyone's shadow. Whether real or fabricated, those messages added fuel to an already raging fire. Critics called her behavior disturbing, accusing her of using her late husband's death as a stepping stone to personal fame. Public opinion has since fractured. Some argue that she has every right to move forward, that she's endured enough pain and deserves to reclaim her happiness. Others, however, see her transformation as evidence of a dark moral decline, claiming she's exploiting public sympathy for her own benefit. "There's moving on," one comment read, "and then there's mocking the man who made you who you are." The controversy has also reignited conversation about South Africa's celebrity culture, the way grief, loss, and image intersect in the public eye. For months, Mthethwa's widow had been painted as the tragic figure, the loyal woman left behind after a mysterious and untimely death. But now, her once sympathetic image is in tatters. As the days go by, the outrage hasn't cooled. Influencers, journalists, and even former political allies have weighed in, calling the situation embarrassing and a betrayal to the man who built her legacy. One political commentator noted, "The optics of this celebration are devastating. Whether she meant it or not, it sends a message of mockery, not mourning." In the midst of the chaos, the widow has remained silent. No statement, no apology, no attempt to clarify her intentions. That silence has only made things worse, turning speculation into certainty for those already convinced of her guilt. To many, her refusal to address the issue is a sign of arrogance and disregard for the emotional weight of her late husband's legacy. Behind the glitz and controversy, one haunting question remains: who is the real woman behind the mask of mourning? Was she ever the loyal wife the public believed her to be, or has she been quietly waiting for her chance to break free all along? In a society that thrives on image, loyalty, and public perception, the fall from grace can be both swift and brutal. For Nathi Mthethwa's widow, that fall seems complete. The celebration that was meant to mark a new chapter in her life has instead exposed a side of her that many now call unforgivable, a side of darkness that no one was prepared to see. Her future remains uncertain, but one thing is clear: the internet doesn't forget. And as her name trends for all the wrong reasons, the haunting image of that night, the laughter, the luxury, the unapologetic joy will forever stand as the symbol of a shocking betrayal that tore apart her carefully crafted legacy.